I can't wait to have roasted root vegetables with my dinner tonight. Turnips, carrots, and sweet potatoes. Put it all together. It's such an easy recipe, and it doesn't take long at all. And I grew them all right here in my organic garden. Hi, I'm Debbie, and welcome to my organic garden.
All I have needs, I have not provided.
The turnips, sweet potatoes, and the carrots that I'm going to pull in just a minute make a great starchy vegetable. But I want some greens to go along with my dinner, and here it is. Don't throw the greens away. In fact, if you live in the deep south, you might be more inclined to throw the turnips away, but don't throw them away either. So a lot of southern cooks will cook the turnip greens and then chop up the turnip roots and mix them all in. I'm going to separate them today, and I'm going to have the root vegetables roasted, and I'm going to cook the greens separate. But I'm actually going to mix these turnip greens with these mustard greens. Got some oak leaves stuck in here. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And it's good. And it's very, very nutritious. You can harvest the leaves all the way down to the middle and just leave a couple, and they will continue to feed you all the way through the winter if you live here in the south. This is my favorite green vegetable to grow through the winter months. As you can see, it's very prolific. Look at all that. I'm going to leave quite a few of these carrots here because really what I'm doing today is thinning them out. And I thought, well, why don't we have some roasted carrots along with the turnips? This is where I store my sweet potatoes, out in the shed, because it's cool out here. And this top layer has some small-ish sweet potatoes, and I think that's the size that I'm interested in today. So I'm going to pick a few of those. But just for bragging rights, I want to show you what's underneath here. So I do have some that are a good size, but I have one that's damaged here. I'm going to go ahead and take that inside and use that one now. You want them in a single layer, and I don't think there's enough room for these, so I'm just going to leave these that way, stack them back on top like that, and bundle them up again. So I wrap this up. This is a shade cloth on this one, and I have screen on the ones underneath. I ran out of screen, but this shade cloth is working just fine. I don't see any indication that there's been any pests, rodents coming in to get in after the sweet potato. Just roll it up so that they can't possibly figure out a way to squeeze in there, because you know they can squeeze into some pretty tight places. And last but not least, rosemary. I'm looking for some new growth here that's really fresh and aromatic. And that's going to be enough for our roasted vegetable recipe. Yum. When I have recipes like this, I like to have sharp knives. So this is my knife sharpener, and I know these both need to be sharpened. So I'm going to do that before I get to work on them. So you've got your vegetables, you have your rosemary, you're going to need some garlic, and I like to put sea salt on mine. And you're going to need, a couple of tablespoons of olive oil too. So the first thing I'm going to do is work on this rosemary right here. I just take and peel it backwards so that all I'm getting is the leaves. Boy, I don't like to bite into a little piece of stem. Just kind of ruins the whole thing for me. The turnips and the sweet potatoes don't have to be spotless because I'm going to peel those. But I am not going to peel the carrots. So those are going to have to come out really, really clean. That should do it. I'll give them another rinse. So this is an ulu knife. It's extremely sharp, and it goes with this bowl cutout, and on the other side you can use that as a regular cutting board. But I love this for chopping up nuts, and I've used it to crush open some spices, used it to chop onions or anything that you want to chop really fine. You just rock it back and forth. I know around Christmas time and Thanksgiving, there's these little berries called cranberries, and if you ever try to chop fresh ones, you know that they can run away from you. But you can put them in this little bowl and start chopping them, and maybe one or two will get away from you, but most of them will stay in the bowl. So that is chopped up pretty fine here, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it into this pot that I've rinsed out. I'm going to add some salt. Sorry, I don't measure on things like this because you never know how much are you really getting out of the garden. And I'm just glopping away here. That's probably close to a quarter cup. And then I'm going to put a couple of cloves of garlic in there. Cool thing about these presses, you don't have to get all that skin off. Just pop the clove in there, the skin stays behind, and the meat of the garlic comes through. That's it. All done. I'll give that a quick stir. And I'm just going to throw the chopped veggies right in there and give them a good coating before I put them on the cookie sheet. do-over. I don't have another stone cookie sheet, so my next option is the frying pan. It's cast iron frying pan. I really do think it makes a difference what kind of cookie sheet and frying pan that you use. But at any rate, one layer deep. Otherwise they kind of just steam, but I want them roasted. And now I'm going to put them in a 400-degree oven. You're probably going to have to rotate your pans if you've got more than one pan. And so let's get the oven going. 400. So it's been about 25 minutes. They're not near done. But see here on the bottom, they need to be stirred. And this one is now going to go on the top shelf. And that one's going to go on the bottom. Coming along really nicely though. So the idea here is to give it a quick stir, turn them over, and switch them on the inside from top to bottom, bottom to top. Look at this. I think I'm going to use a cast iron skillet from now on. These are beautifully done. Just beautifully done. And those are ready to come out. One's on the bottom in the cookie sheet. It's stoneware. They're done, but they're not brown. I'm going to leave those in there just a little bit longer. And so at this point, it's been about 40 minutes. I'm going to leave these in for about 5 more. Those are done. I tasted it, and it is to die for. My husband's going to get a little bit of this. I'll probably eat the rest for dinner tonight. You know, there's nothing quite as satisfying as pulling the vegetables out of your own garden and you get to eat it. It just keeps amazing me how good God is to us. Do you see this tablecloth right here? My grandmother made that for my parents for their wedding anniversary. My parents got married in 1952. So that makes this about 70 years old. We are not allowed to use it for a tablecloth. It is here just to show off what my grandmother did. And I just wanted to share it with you today. Well, I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and there's more to come in the future. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up, please, and don't forget to subscribe.